Hey, what's up guys, my name is David and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be ranking my top 10 favorite comic book movies with the inclusion of Zack Snyder's Justice League. This is a list that is always changing and the positions are always fluctuating, but these 10 and the honorable mentions are definitely my favorite comic movies. They're on the upper tier of comic book movies. But before we get into the ranking, I have some updates on the channel. If you don't care, no worries, there are time codes in the description. So a couple things. One, I will not be doing a what I watched this month video for March, and that is simply because I did not watch much in the month of March. This also segues into my other update, and I'm kind of having an interest crisis. All the stuff that I'm supposed to like and enjoy surrounding Star Wars, Marvel, comic media, just watching new movies, I don't enjoy as much, and that is the channel, and I don't want to not enjoy this hobby. So just bear with me as I take some time off from the channel, and when I do upload, it's going to be a little different. Nothing drastic, just stuff that I hopefully enjoy more. And it's truly nothing deep. It's just, you know, this pandemic has been going on for a year, and the stuff that I used to kill the time with is starting to bore me. It really is as simple as that. But with that being said, let's get into the video, and let's get into some honorable mentions. Spider-Man Homecoming, Logan, Spider-Man 2002, Lego Batman Movie, and Civil War. Kicking off the top 10 is Avengers Infinity War. I always have a hard time coming up with stuff to say about this movie, and that's because it's kind of self-explanatory. The first half of the Infinity Saga conclusion is nothing short of epic. From the great action, team-ups, Thanos as just a whole, and the tragically epic ending, this movie has so much to offer and does so much well. At number 9 is Man of Steel. Just to get the stuff I don't like out of the way, most of the action in the third act is really dull. Everything else I pretty much adore. I love this modern take on Superman and shows the struggles that he would have to go through in the 21st century. Snyder's visual flair and style are on point in this film, from the opening scenes on Krypton to the magnificent flight scene, and then the score that accompanies all this beauty is one of my favorite scores of all time. The flashbacks of Clark's life, especially when he's a kid with his father, are so beautiful, and especially this line, "Can
I just keep pretending I'm your son?"
You are my son.
Michael Shannon as General Zod is one of my favorite comic book movie performances. Amy Adams gives depth to a character I usually don't care about. Overall, this is just a movie that does so much right and gives a very nice and well-needed modern spin on this beloved character. I respect the Donner Supermans, but this is a Superman movie that I can truly relate to, and for that reason and for many others, that's why it comes in at number 9. At number 8, we have Zack Snyder's Justice League. I know, this is lower than I expected too. First, let's get the reasons why it's kind of low out of the way. Despite all of the epicness in this movie, the villain and the actual plot is kind of dull. And that being said, good God, what a movie. I posted a video gushing about this movie, and that video did not do well, to say the very least. It actually did horribly, so check that out if you haven't yet. But to sum it up, this is a meticulously crafted epic with some of the best comic book movie action I have ever seen, great character development, and just an overall satisfying and epic film that has such a powerful movement behind it. It's great that I and many others really enjoy this film, but that aside, it doesn't matter what I think. It truly does not. It doesn't even matter what you think. The fact that this movie was made, that's an achievement and something to celebrate right there. Also, yeah, it's a really cool movie. And The Flash is not a joke. Thank God. Coming in at number 7 is Batman vs. Superman Ultimate Edition. To simply sum up my love for this movie, it is a captivating political thriller surrounding two of my favorite characters. I've just seen it so many times that I can always have fun with it at different points in the movie, whether it's the action or the conversation or Bruce just being Bruce. I love all of it. This is definitely my most subjective ranking, so to speak. I don't have a great explanation for why I love this film so much. I just kind of do. We all have that film in our life where we don't know why we love it so much. We have like a general understanding why we love it so much, but we don't know why we love it that much, and that is Batman vs. Superman for me. Also, just many of the complaints with this movie don't bother me, and I acknowledge some of the complaints, and they still don't bother me that much, like the convoluted story. Yeah, it's convoluted, but so is, say, The Dark Knight. Not to the same degree, of course, but you get my point. Also, you have criticisms such as Lex Zuckerberg. I love Jesse Eisenberg playing Lex Luthor. So for those messes of a reason, that is why I like this movie, and that is why it comes in at number 7. At number 6 is Batman Begins. We take movies like this for granted nowadays, truly. This film defined the character of Batman in the 21st century. That is insane. That incredible fact besides, this is such a great Batman origin. From the best live-action Wayne death to Bruce becoming the Batman mentally and physically, the score, and the countless of other great things about this movie. And this term is thrown around so much nowadays that it doesn't really mean much, and it's kind of like a joke, but this kind of started the dark and gritty comic movie genre, where you take these characters that have their campy sides, but make them serious and make them realistic. Like, this is a story that could fit in to some kind of real world. There's so much to love and appreciate about this movie, and I love and appreciate it all. Coming in at number 5 is Avengers Endgame. This was the best theater experience of my life. This was one of the most epic movies I've ever seen in my life. This was so satisfying in all the right ways. It perfectly hit the nail on the head. It executed everything it was trying to be. And the two big criticisms of this movie being Professor Hulk and Thor, I truly never had a problem with. And if you don't like Fat Thor, trust me, I get it, but personally me, never ruined the movie for me, not even a little bit. The reason it's number 5 and not like in 3rd place is because my fault. I burned this movie out. I've seen it so many times and it is so long and I'm just so tired of talking about it, so it's a number 5. It's still respectable, but not like top 3. But yeah, man, it's Endgame. I don't know what to say about it. It does so much well, and I mean truly well. Something I said in my MCU ranking, for a movie with so much pressure on it, it never buckles. Each act is insanely focused and everything that happens in this movie feels earned. Whether it's payoff for something that occurred in a movie years ago or just a little continuation of a line that was said earlier in the movie, something that is severely overlooked when it comes to this film is the actual script. It is a very well written and tight script. And then of course we have the insane 3rd act, which just shows the peak potential of comic book movies, and I love it. It's unfortunate that it looks that ugly sometimes, but regardless, it's beautiful in its own way, and I love this movie, and I'm just sick of talking about it, so let's move on. Dang it, I have another MCU movie. Okay, number 4 is Guardians of the Galaxy. This is my favorite MCU movie because it's one that I can always come back to. James Gunn made one of, if not the most stylish and heartfelt comic book movie of the last decade. Despite its basic plot, seeing these quippy and broken superheroes come together and become a family will never not be endearing and entertaining to me. The action is fresh and exciting, as well as the comedy, and just to top it all off, it has a godly soundtrack. And here we go, we have made it to the top 3, the holy trinity of comic book movies. Coming in at number 3 is The Dark Knight. I've gone through so many phases with this movie. At one point, it was my favorite comic movie and my favorite movie of all time. Then it wasn't. It was like at number 10 in my favorite movies of all time. And then it's just, I wasn't a fan of this movie for like a good while. I never hated it, but it was kind of like in the middle of the pandemic where I was just binging comic movies and I wanted, you know, some jokes and some color in it. So the MCU. And this didn't offer me that. And my main gripe with it was, you know, it's a cop movie, but with Batman skins. It's not the masterpiece people make it out to be. But the way it balances the gripping crime drama storyline with exploring fundamentals of the characters of Batman and Joker is brilliant and something only someone like Nolan can do. So yes, if you boil this movie down, it is just a crime drama with some Batman skins, but everything that goes into making this final product cannot be overlooked. Personally, for me, I'm not someone who gets hung on plot holes that much unless it like completely destroys the movie. But I find it funny that even people who get very hung up on plot holes and analyze films to this ridiculous standard and make 2-hour videos bashing on beloved movies because that gets them views, this movie is so good that trolls even like it, is what I'm saying. And despite those little plot holes and insane conveniences when it comes to Joker's plan, the movie is fantastic. From the writing, the action, the cinematography, the tension, everything about this movie could not be more perfect. But a 16-year-old film bro saying that this movie isn't amazing is like someone saying the sky is blue. You've heard it before, so let's move on. And our runner-up is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. A beautiful love letter to the character. Okay. Okay, the backlight went out again, so this is the shot now. Enjoy. A beautiful love letter to the character that is Spider-Man, as well as Spider-Man fans, with some of the best animation I have ever seen. But where this film truly thrives is in the character of Miles. My favorite movie genre is probably coming of age, and here we have such a likable and relatable young character who basically goes through a coming of age journey and becomes a Spider-Man. Of course I love this movie. And continuing the Spider-Man trend, if you guys know me, this should not be a surprise, coming in at number 1 is Spider-Man 2. Pizza time! Now, a lot of the movies below this one on the list are better movies and take themselves more seriously, but there's just something so pure about this movie that you can only get from Sam Raimi and his incredible directing. From the overly feel-good tone to the iconic lines and shots that feel straight out of a comic book, whenever I need to pick me up or need to feel good while watching a comic book movie, this is my go-to. And that's because of its theme. It's the classic Peter Parker dilemma of him balancing his Spider-Man life as well as just trying to be normal and try to be with Mary Jane. It's such a simple and sometimes cheesy message and narrative, but once again, the way it's brought to life by Sam Raimi's directing is lightning in a bottle and so special to me, making it my favorite comic book movie of all time. And there you have it, those are my top 10 favorite comic book movies. Let me know in the comment section down below, what are some of your favorite comic book movies? Thank you so much for watching this video. If you got to the end, then you definitely will enjoy the channel, so please consider subscribing. To the people who already subscribe and consistently watch my videos, thank you, I truly mean it. Just your support means the world. It really does. It helps me make the videos even when I'm not really feeling it, and hopefully this little pivot that I'm gonna do and just change things up, hopefully it works, hopefully I'm happy with the content, hopefully you're happy with the content. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for the support. It means a lot. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. May the force be with you.